Mississippi, where many residents there were forced to evacuate in low-lying areas. Joining us this morning, Republican Senator Roger Wicker of that state. He is at the Republican National Convention in Tampa, but keeping a close eye on the situation in his home state. Senator, good to have you with us.
It's good to be with you.
What are you hearing from back home?
Well, I think what Brian said for New Orleans is correct also. This storm isn't over. It's an ongoing event, and we'll see. Right now, what I'm hearing from people on the ground in the 3 Gulf Coast counties is we have a rain and flooding event. High tide is coming later on this morning, and we don't know the extent of the damage, but we certainly have dodged a Katrina-type bullet.
Yeah, we had Governor Barber on not too long ago. It might not be so much about storm surges, agriculture this time around, soybeans and cotton. I made the point, we were talking about a drought just a couple weeks ago.
Well, he made that point well. You know, actually Mississippi farmers were by and large spared from the drought this year. The drought was over in Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma. Certainly, they need the rain. We really don't. We're on course to have a real good crop year, but if we have a lot of rain and can't get in the field and harvest, it is bad news.
It's got to be, I mean, trying to find silver linings here, helpful to the Mississippi, right? That has been a problem.
Well, right. That's true. It's not exactly my idea of a solution, but you know, these acts of God, we don't have anything to do with. We just have to live with it. And I'll tell you this, I'm very proud of the way our people have learned to prepare for a storm, to take care of themselves. We're here. There were very few 911 calls last night because people had taken precautions. We had 2 home rescues that had to be done, but by and large, the people have been resilient and smart and educated.
Senator, could you talk a little bit about the Mississippi River and what condition it's in? It's such a major route for commerce.
Well, there's no question about it. It's an economic artery, and you know, whereas last year we had way too much water and flooding all up and down. This has just slowed commerce. Fortunately, we have the Corps of Engineers. They've worked with us. They've done some dredging, and we're going to get through it. But it's not good for the economy.
And given the storms that we've seen repeatedly batter the Gulf Coast region, the vulnerability of a lot of the tourism and core industries there to that, is there any effort in your state to diversify away from that into other industries?
Well, of course we have diversified. My goodness, we do some of the most sophisticated military manufacturing on the Gulf Coast, yes, we're very diversified, but we want the tourism, and we depend on tourism, and it would be crazy for a coastal state like ours not to put a lot of emphasis on tourism. We'll get it back. You know, we weathered Katrina, but also we weathered the oil spill, which was a real big hit. I think tourism is going to be just fine after this tropical storm event.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Biloxi and how quickly you think they can not just reopen and reestablish operations, but convince tourists that in fact there has been no long-lasting damage.
I don't foresee any problem there at all. We have another day of this, and then we can sort of reassess. But I think all of the tourism facilities, the casinos, will be open in a day or two. That would be my guess, but that would be a bit of speculation based on the fact that this is mainly a rain and flooding event.
Senator, before we lose you, a word about where we are on the economic front, and obviously we await Paul Ryan addressing the conference today. Would you agree, as a member of the Senate Banking Committee, with your colleague Bob Corker, that as far as Ben Bernanke is concerned, he should approach what he's doing with a greater sense of humility, and that arguably the dual mandate of the Federal Reserve should be abandoned?
I think, yes, considering that not only President Obama, but Mr. Bernanke have been the stewards of our economy, yes, there should be quite a bit of humility, because what we've tried over the last 3.5 years to me, has been an utter failure, and I think that'll be one of the major issues of the campaign. I did not hear Senator Corker's specific comment, but I'm sure it was well reasoned.
Senator, good to have you with us. Thanks for taking some time.
Good to be with you always. Thank you.
Senator Wicker from Mississippi.
And